all right, Mr. Andre Roxx.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself today?
You know what? I'm doing good. I'm above ground, so I guess I'm doing all right.
All right, all right. Well, let me just start with getting a little bit of background. Tell me a little bit about where you from.
I'm from a little small town most people have never heard of called Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And I got out of there as soon as I could.
All right, so let me get also a little bit of background on your music. First of all, when did you start doing music?
Oh man, I started doing music when I was 7 years old. Here's what happened. I'm 7 years old, and my dad used to take me to these little yard sales and things like that around town. And give me a couple dollars, and I'd buy all kind of crap that I didn't really need.
Right.
One day, for some reason, I picked up this record player. I don't know why I picked up the record player. I just dug the record player. I didn't own a record, nothing like that. I'm 7 years old. I get this record player, and then I get it home, and I'm like, I ain't got no records. What am I doing with this? And my dad goes and he gets me these two records. He's got duplicates of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, The Message.
Okay.
And I put those records on. And when I heard Melly come off with broken glass everywhere, and I hear like everything he's talking about, I'm like looking around my neighborhood. I grew up in a neighborhood called Kernville, and I'm looking around and I'm like, yo, there's broken glass everywhere. Like it was like, yo, this man is talking about real issues. He's giving real people a real message about the real life situations that our people are going through. He's giving a voice to the voiceless. I'm like, yo, I know what I want to do. I knew what I wanted to do with my life at 7 years old. I was like, yo. So from there, me and my cousin, we started rapping. Just putting on a little show for our grandmother at her house. Just how little kids do.
Right.
And my cousin happened to be there. My cousin Puncho, Alan Andrews. And he was a community organizer. And he's like, yo, y'all are all right, for kids. So he started letting us do the block parties around the neighborhood. He used to organize all of the block parties. And, from there, I fell in love with the mic. I fell in love with the stage. Just rocking a party, rocking a crowd. It was just beautiful. And I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. So I know you started rapping with your family, and of course you evolved from there. How did you get into the company of the Woo? Yo, you just hung up on me. You hung up on me. Hold on. No, don't say nothing. Hold on. You hung up on me.
My bad, son.
It's all good. I was like, no, don't say nothing. All right. So, yes, how did you become a part of the Woo, affiliated with Wu-Tang?
It's a really weird story. Here's what happened. I was getting a little bit older. And the game, they really want teenagers. Maybe, early 20s. But I was getting a little bit older. I knew I wanted to do this with the rest of my life. And I had to go balls to the wall, just to be honest with you. So I booked Killer Priest, who was one of my favorite MCs at the time. I mean, between Killer Priest, Rakim, KRS-One, just some of the dopest MCs ever. And I knew somebody who knew Killer Priest. So I booked Killer Priest to do this event, and my whole goal was to get with Priest and work out some kind of business deal with him some kind of way. So I booked him to do this event. I didn't have any bread in my pocket, none, not a dime. But I booked him. I signed the contract. Now, from the contract, I had 72 hours to come up with his deposit. Of course, I'm broke. So I go to every business. I'm in Denver at the time. I go to every business. I start knocking on doors. Hey, can you guys sponsor the event? I had a sponsorship package that I put together. I was charging people $500 to sponsor the event, but I was taking anything. take that too. For 3 days, I didn't sleep. I mean, I would hit the nightclubs and the bars and things like that during the evening, and then during the day, I'm hitting the regular businesses. I put together the deposit. You know, I think the deposit was $4,000 total, something like that.
Right.
Put together the deposit, got him paid off in 72 hours, and then I didn't have a venue. So we went to this pizza shop up in Boulder, and we're like, yo, we want to throw the Killer Priest concert here. Because I didn't have any connections at venues. The 2 nightclubs that I had been working with, kind of, neither one of them wanted the show. So we said, screw it. We had the event in a pizza shop. So we brought Killer Priest out. I kind of backed him into a corner. I made sure that I had about an hour to sit down with him at his hotel room before the event. And I basically told him, I'm like, you know, I'd love to do some booking for you. You know, he allowed me to do some booking for him. And then eventually I ended up booking a ton of shows for him. Of course, I booked myself as the opening act.
Okay. Smart.
Of course. But, you know, even when we did that first show, you know, me and Priest were like, you know, we got to collaborate. Priest was really digging what I was doing. And, you know, from there, you know, I got to do a lot of traveling with Priest. And through that, I got introduced to Capadonna, some other cats from the Woo. And, you know, I got to do a whole lot of traveling with him. It was a really good time in my life. And I was starting to make some noise in the game. You know, I was starting to pick up a lot of people from his fan base. They were digging what I was doing as well. And from there, you know, one day Priest was just like, you know, we need to get you down official. You know, you've been riding with us. At the time, it tripped me out because he said, you've been riding with us for 6 years now. And I'm like, man, 6 years went fast.
Right.
And he was like, yo, man, we need to make this official. So that was about 2 months, maybe 3 months. You know, I'm a little foggy on the time. But before we actually made the announcement, because Priest wanted to make sure that we came back to Denver. And we did that in the town where it all started and, you know, where I had the biggest fan base. And, you know, we made the announcement that I was now officially a Killer B. It was me, an Eternal from the West Coast Killer Bees, and Killer Priest out there at the Roxx in Denver. And ever since then, man, you know, it's been beautiful.
History. Okay. All right. So it's a couple more things I want to talk to you about, but before we get into the nitty gritty of it, I want you I want to get, you know, because you're a real artist, so I want you to give your input on what you think is happening with the game, the industry right now, and, you know, what can be done to fix it.
Okay. What's going on with the industry right now is, and I hate to say it like this, but the worst thing that happened to hip-hop was money. What you've got now is you've got a whole lot of people that don't love the craft or don't love the culture of hip-hop. You've got a lot of people that want to rap to get paid. Period, point blank. They want to rap to get paid. And there's so much money floating around in the game right now that obviously it's going to attract that type of element. But what you have is you have people that don't love it enough to sit down and perfect their craft. For example, when I was coming into the game, when I was real young, all the way up until, you know, I still do to this day, we studied the dictionary, we studied thesauruses, we actually learned how to manipulate the language of hip-hop, or of English, so that we were able to create that word, to find that word that will evoke that certain type of emotion in someone, where we could actually use just our words and our inflection of our voice to take somebody from where they were at to where we were at when we wrote the track. And a lot of artists don't take that time to perfect their craft anymore. Beyond that, you know, when hip-hop first started, like I was saying before, hip-hop was the voice of the voiceless. It was the voice of the urban community. It was almost like the extension of the civil rights movement, where people who didn't otherwise have a voice politically or socially now were given a voice where the rest of the world was listening and would hear what was really going on in our lives. But now, like, hip-hop has become this exclusive club for the super rich. You know, if I'm going to get my gear from Goodwill, if I'm trying to keep my 1963 Chevy POS on the road, I don't care about your bags. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't care about your Versace. You know, let's talk about what's really going on. And hip-hop actually made the world stand up and pay attention to what's going on in the urban community in a way that hadn't been done since Malcolm X and Huey Newton and Stokely Carmichael. It hadn't been done. Hip-hop made people pay attention to the urban community again. And nowadays, I mean, people are still paying attention to the urban community, but they're paying attention to the negativity. Hip-hop nowadays is just perpetuating a stereotype. You asked the right question here. We'll be here for an hour. You're going to ask me that question. Yeah, I run into situations all the time, especially as a hip-hop artist, where people say you don't talk black, you don't act black. Well, what is talking black? Is it that I have not mastered the language properly? I'm bilingual because I can step into a boardroom of a Fortune 500 company and I can speak their language. But I can also step to the block and I can speak their language. But see, we have this negative connotation of blackness, where blackness nowadays, because a lot of it, because of the hip-hop culture, blackness nowadays does not equate to intelligence. Blackness nowadays does not equate to being a family man rather than going out and sleeping with 15 different women. Blackness nowadays does not equate to not being a violent person. I mean, obviously, I believe in self-defense to the fullest, but, you know, we talk about killing ourselves so much, and that's not what hip-hop was for. That's not what hip-hop was about. As a matter of fact, hip-hop was created to eliminate some of the violence that was going on the streets. And nowadays, you know, it's the cool thing to be a thug, to be a gangster, to be tough, to be a drug dealer, to you know, be immature and show immature behavior. It's not cool to be mature. It's not cool to talk about investments and keeping our money within our own community nowadays. It's cool to talk about, you know, going and spending our money outside of our communities and not creating generational wealth. It's not cool, you know, you tell a guy who's got $3 million, hey, yo, go get a Hyundai and keep that money moving for the rest of your life. Instead, he's going to go spend $1 million on a Bugatti, and then 5 years from now, he's that brother in the hood talking about, yeah, I was the first millionaire to make it out of the hood. Yo, let me get a 5 so I can get some steel reserve. And we all see those cats in our hood. And hip-hop used to teach us that. It used to teach us some sort of responsibility, some sort of pride in who we were. And somewhere in the 90s, early 2000s, it just completely shifted. So when you ask me what's wrong with hip-hop is not about black responsibility anymore. It's not about responsibility. It's not about intelligence. It's not about uplifting and educating our people. And that's something that we have to get back to in hip-hop. I'm going to shut up now because I'll keep talking forever on this topic.
Well, you said a mouthful. I really appreciate that, and you know, I got faith that it is going to turn back around. We just need people like you to really keep your music out there and stay on the right track. So, all right. So
when you get people like me, unfortunately, the media is very quick to shut me up. They're very quick to shut a brother like me up.
Well, this is true. Now that you mentioned the media, that's another industry right here. So tell me, first of all, you know, for people who might not know, you know, you had to do a little bit of time, and while you was doing that, the media kind of conjured up some stuff about you. What was this story that was told about you?
Okay. To the best of my knowledge, there are 2 members of the Wu-Tang Killer Bees. I'm a Midwest Killer Bee, and there's a gentleman who's also a part of the West Coast Killer Bees. He's also a part of North Star. His name is Andre Johnson. My legal name is Marcus Andre Johnson. I perform under the name Andre Roxx. He performs under the name Christ Bearer. I know this is a little confusing.
Okay.
From what I understand, Mr. Johnson, the other Mr. Johnson, he got high one night. He castrated himself the story as if it was me. My picture was out everywhere. My name was out everywhere. They ran the story. A lot of organizations ran the story as if he and I were the same person, and then a lot of organizations ran the story that it was me. And then some news organizations ran the story that it was him. And it was just this confusing colloquy of drama.
Right.
And, you know, obviously I'm in an industry, the hip hop industry. Your masculinity is something that's very important. Very important. You can't castrate yourself and be an MC. I'm sorry, you just can't do that. And with that story being spread, one thing that I found out is very true is that the world doesn't care about the truth. It's about what they think is the truth. The truth doesn't really matter. It's what everybody thinks is the truth. So, of course, from there, not a whole lot of people wanted to book me anymore. As a matter of fact, nobody wanted to book me anymore. I get out of jail, and it's like my life is completely screwed up. I can't get any work in the industry that I've been working at since I was 7 years old. I can't get any not even gigs. Like, you know, I was charging thousands of dollars to do gigs. I get out of jail and I go to a nightclub, you know, a little small nightclub, and offer them a gig for $250, which before I went in, any club in the world would have jumped on. And I can't even get a gig for $250. So I'm in a position getting out of jail where I can't get any work. I can't go to work. Not only that, but it actually affected my social life. I mean, obviously, you know, my name is in international news as the guy who castrated himself. Try getting a date.
Right, you're right. I totally understand.
You know, I'm getting on the subway, and, you know, people are grabbing at me, trying to see if it's still there. And I'm trying to be, you know, polite for your show here. But, you know, people are grabbing at me. I'm getting, you know, I walk down the street and people are harassing me. Hey, aren't you the guy that, you know, it turned into a situation where I had to become a hermit. I pretty much stayed in the house. I didn't want to mess with anybody because this was international news. I mean, people were saying, you know, this was all over the internet, millions of hits. My email was blown up, 60,000 emails, people messing with me. I was like the joke coming out of jail. I was the world joke when I came out of jail.
So, with all that being said, what are you doing now to really get the word out? Like, it's kind of hard to undo that kind of media attention.
Oh, you ain't lying. You know, when I first got out of jail, I contacted some attorneys, and a lot of attorneys didn't want to take this case. I mean, I found out about the case when I was in jail, but I tried to contact some attorneys when I was in jail, and, you know, you make the phone call from jail to an attorney, and the first thing they hear is, you have a call from the Philadelphia County Correctional Institution. And then the first thing you say out of your mouth is, I'm Andre Roxx from the Wu-Tang Killer Bees. And they're like, yeah, right, click. So I couldn't get an attorney until I got out of jail. And then, of course, there were a lot of attorneys that did not want to take on this case. I'm making the assumption that, you know, they were intimidated by dealing with such large media outlets. But who knows? So it took me a while to find an attorney that wanted to take on the case. And then from there, you know, we began the process of doing our research and filing suit. And the lawsuit has actually put us in a position where the story is starting to get corrected. It's nowhere near. I mean, last week before the suit was officially on file, if you Googled my name, it was the first 10 pages of Google was, this guy cut his penis off. Now, you know, if you Google my name, a couple articles are coming up saying, hey, these people got the wrong people. You know, it's getting a little bit better. Obviously, you know, I've been putting things out on my website and on social media that this was not me. But I don't put a whole lot of blast out on social media about this situation because we've got deeper issues to talk about.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I've been doing what I can with the limited resources that I have. You know, a lot of my resources have fallen away from me since this story broke. So with the limited resources I have, I've been doing my best to spread the word. But, you know, it seems like, you know, my lawyer gave me this statement yesterday. She said, you know, bad news or negative publicity is halfway around the world, while good publicity is still putting its shoes on us.
This is true. This is true. So I want to get into, because you mentioned that, you know, since this happened, you haven't been able to get any shows and things like that, stuff that you were doing before all of this happened. We understand you're going through some legal things and some bad things have been said about you, so it makes it hard for you to really work on your craft and live off of your craft. So, you know, what are you doing now? You working at McDonald's? Tell me what you gotta do now.
I'm gonna tell you something, because, like, you know, like I said, I can't get any work, and just like everybody else, he who does not work does not eat. And I actually tried to get jobs like what you were saying, Burger King, McDonald's, waiting tables, anything like that. Because, you know, even though I'm a member of the group, and, you know, even though I've done all this traveling and things like that, I'm not above that. Like, you gotta understand, I'll get a 9 to 5 in a heartbeat if my dollars get low. But the crazy thing is, the story was so big. The story was so big that when I went out to go get jobs and things like that, one of the things employers do now is they Google you.
Right.
I couldn't get a 9 to 5 because of this. Like, I put in hundreds of applications, and I could not get a 9 to 5. I could sit there across the way from the employer. You know, they're sitting there on the computer, and they're looking for your social media pages and things like that. And I can tell you exactly when they found the page, exactly when they found the story, because the look came over their face. It was like, oh yeah, so Mr. And I'm sitting there in my own head like, he just found the page. And then the next thing we'll get back to you. You know?
Yeah, right.
So it got real bananas. Like, it really got insane. That, you know, I couldn't get any work, not even like 9 to 5. So I mean, for a while, you know, I was doing odd jobs, you know, fixing people's cars, you know, brake jobs, alternators, things like that. You know, whatever I could do to make $40, $50 to get enough food for the day. You know, I got behind on my rent, really behind on my rent for a while. You know, it was, I was doing a few things. Now, you know, I've got the radio show. The radio picked me up, KYBN, beautiful organization, allowed me to come on there and host the political talk radio show. Called The Chamber, ladies and gentlemen, check it out, KYBN, 11 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday.
Hey, let's plug it in.
I've got the clothing line. You know, I was able to work out a deal where I could get some clothing. You know, I honestly, you know, was able to work out a small deal based on my name, where I could get some clothing and get the clothing line together, which has always actually been a dream of mine and a goal of mine, was to get the clothing line together. So it gave me a little bit of time to focus on that. But I mean, you know, I'm still out here struggling. You know, I got to be honest with you. I'm still out here struggling. I won't make any qualms about it. You know, I'm broke right now. I'm broke. And I'll tell the world that. Like, I'm not one of these guys that has to go out and floss to the world and put on this front. My brother's hurting right now. You know, my friends and my family have really been helping me stay afloat.
Right. Well, I mean, so how did you know, when all this stuff was going on, was your family, were they kind of acting like the rest of the people, or did they believe you, or what happened with that? Did they know? They knew better?
I mean, you know, the beautiful thing about a situation like this is you get to find out who's really got your back and who doesn't. When it all went down, a lot of my friends and my family, you know, I came back out of jail and I got to search through friends and my family, people who knew that I was in jail 3,000 miles away from the situation at the time, continued to perpetuate it because they wanted to inject their name into the story in some kind of way. They wanted their 15 minutes of fame. So they continued to perpetuate the lie, and because they wanted to get in front of the cameras for 5 minutes, they wanted to have their face seen, they wanted to, you know, be able to talk to the media or whatever the case may be. So they continued to perpetuate the story. A lot of my friends and family did. Now, I had friends and family who did not perpetuate the story and who did not
feed into it
or fall into that trap. But there were a lot of people that really disappointed me, including people that I share bloodlines with. And I'm really disappointed in a lot of people that are supposed to be my friends and my family. I really was hurt by that. But there were, you know, my aunt really helped me out. My sister has been, you know, constantly looking out for me. My man, Sean McDowell, a.k.a. The Rev. By the way, everybody check out his new album. Had to shout it out. He you know, he's really had my back. He went through it all. My homegirl out in Cincinnati, you know, she went to war on my Facebook page. I mean, she was really going at people about this, and I mean, she went to war for months about this. Everybody that posted something crazy, she went to war about it. But you know, I was actually very disappointed. You know, my circle became very narrow when I got out of jail because I saw how many people really didn't have my back.
Right. All right, so I know you shouted out somebody who got some new music. I know you're working on something new. Tell us about it and how they can find it and how they can find you and book you and let us know.
I work on music all the time. I mean, that's what I do. That's what I love. You would never, if you find out that Roxx stopped doing music, send flowers to my mom because I'm dead. It's real. You know, I got a few different projects going on. I mean, I sit here and I record every day. I make beats every day. But I'm actually working on a project. The project is called Set the Record Straight. And it's more than just, you know, me trying to set the record straight about this situation. It is honestly, we need to set hip hop back to what it was. We got to get hip hop back to a point where, first of all, we respect all four elements of hip hop. You know, the DJs have been very disrespected lately. Breakers have been very disrespected lately. Graffiti artists have been very disrespected lately. And we got to start respecting all four elements of hip hop, not just the MC. And we have to get hip hop back to the intellectual movement that it was, and stop turning it into a place where we're acting exactly how they want us to act.
Right.
We're perpetuating the stereotypes exactly how they want us. You know, we're showing them that we are exactly who they want us to be. And we got to get to a point where hip-hop is counteracting some of the drama rather than adding to the drama. You know, we got to stop getting up here talking about killing our own people. They're already out there killing us.
Yeah.
Ask Michael Brown, ask Eric Garner, ask Trayvon Martin, ask Lil Tamir Rice. They're already out here killing us. Why are we killing ourselves? And we're glorifying it. Like, yeah, I'll kill you. You know, why are we out here making it rain in the club instead of investing? I mean, we got to get to a point where we stop doing that. So the purpose of Set the Record Straight, to bring it all full circle, is to create real music that talks about real issues in a real way. And that album is going to be completely crowdfunded. You know, obviously right in through here, I can't get work. So I'm going to create my own work. And I'm hoping that everybody out there who loves real hip-hop will support what we're doing and support that project. And here's the deal, y'all. This is not about me making $1 million. I'm not going to step in here, get crowdfunded for the event, or get crowdfunded for the project, and then make $1 million off of it and say, ha, 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 ha. No. When this album is done, We are giving it away for free. Everybody will be able to get it for 100% free. You'll get it. You can get it right off of my website on download. Depending on how much crowdfunding we get, we may press up some physical copies. But I won't sell one album. I'm not going to sell one copy of the album. This is completely free because hip hop is a gift to the world that can change this whole situation that we're in right now, or can at least be the catalyst for changing the situation that we're in right now. And there's so much out there that is negative in the hip hop game now that somebody's got to counteract it. And it's easier to counteract it if I'm giving it to you as opposed to me selling it to you. So I'm going to give you a gift that was given to me and has done a lot and has influenced a lot of my life. I'm going to give that back to the world. So when we do set the record straight, the record is going to be completely free. It's going to be completely free to everybody out there. Now you asked another question too, but I talk so much, I don't know when to shut up. So I lost the other question.
That you pretty much covered it. Just how people can get in touch with you if they want to book you for shows or features.
Okay,
you know.
Okay. First of all, the Kickstarter page. Kickstarter is called Set the Record Straight. Andre Roxx Set the Record Straight. Straight is spelled STR and the number 8. If they want to get in contact with me for shows, bookings, any press, any interviews, anything like that, you can call the line 706-452-ROXX. That's 706-452-ROXX. 706-452-7699. Or you guys can just go to my website, AndreRoxx.com, AndreRoxx.com, AndreRoxx.com. Check, you can check out everything that I'm doing. All of the charity events that I'm doing right in through here, the radio show. I think you guys will find that very interesting because it's not the typical ignorant thing that you hear.